it's Trina. I went to YALLFest this weekend and I did not vlog at all. I would rather experience it myself instead of through a camera lens, because a lot of times I get wrapped up in like making sure everything is in frame and then I don't really like absorb the feelings of being there, so I just didn't even attempt to vlog. And I'm not planning on doing a whole story time video talking about like everything I did and saw and people I met or anything like that, but there are a couple of videos I wanted to make after YALLFest. YALLFest also got me to reflecting on something very personal to me, and that is my anxiety. I actually tweeted some of my thoughts about this and I got a pretty surprising response, and there were a couple of people that said they would like to hear me talk about it. So I definitely am not a professional. I have a degree in psychology, but I don't work in the field. I am not a therapist or anything, so I'm not making this video to offer actual help or advice, but maybe just to kind of tell my story in case it resonates with you, because I wish people would have said these things to me during BEA and VidCon and YALLWest, and knowing how I felt watching my friends go to these amazing events earlier in the year and feeling kind of like maybe I was being left behind. So now that I've been to an event, it still kind of feels the same, so I just kind of want to talk about it. So first of all, everybody I met at YALLFest was amazing. There was not one person that made me feel left out or lonely or whatever. This is all completely internal. This is my anxiety, and I know that my anxiety is undiagnosed. I've talked to my doctors about it, especially in the past few years, because it's gotten to the point where I feel like I have maybe needed medication because it's been so bad. And my doctors have not really been willing to pursue that route for me because they just think, well, let's wait a few months and see if it goes away on its own. And it doesn't. But luckily, I'm at a point where it's really only big social interactions with especially people that I, don't know as well, like hanging out with my best friend or something is not going to set it off. But big social events like this are what set it off, and so I know when to avoid them and kind of how to cope with them. But I really did want to go to YALLFest, so I didn't want to let it hold me back. I really felt like if I didn't go, I would regret it. The way that my anxiety manifests is when I'm in the social situation, so like when I was at YALLFest and hanging out with people, it doesn't hit me then. If I'm anticipating meeting someone that I haven't met before, right before I go and say hello to them, I will feel very nervous and flustered and like I don't know what to say. But if someone, I don't know, comes up to me and initiates, I can go with it. I can go with the flow okay. I mean, I'm not the most smooth talker in person or whatever, so I'm not saying like I'm totally outgoing and bubbly, because I'm not, but once I'm in the social interactions, I tend to do okay. My brain is okay with it, and so like when I'm there, it's not noticeable to me. It's after I get home from the event. So especially with YALLFest, that 9-hour drive home the next day, I had a lot of downtime and my brain was digesting it. So the way that my anxiety manifests is after an event is over, all of these memories and images and the snippets of conversations that I had with every single person I met, it all floods into my brain totally unbidden. I can't stop it, I can't control it, and I just dwell on those things, and it's just like I get stuck in a loop and I can't stop thinking about what I did or what I said or how I came across. So again, it's not that anyone did anything to me, it's just completely my anxiety. So sometimes I just think, did I say or do the wrong thing? When I dwell on these things, I can't control my brain just bringing that into my head, and the way that I react to it is I will have like a full body reaction, like a twitch. I just have to shake. I get really fidgety, especially my arms and my legs. I have to move them a lot. I guess it's like my body's way of kind of shaking it out of my system. That makes me feel better. I guess it's like get that out of my head, physically shake that memory out of my head. Another way that I react is by making really weird facial expressions. Like when I'm reliving this memory in my head, I react to it visibly on my face. So I'm just like sitting in the car staring out the window and then like cringing. And I also sometimes vocalize. It's usually like grunts. I don't really want to like reenact it because it's not going to be an appropriate representation of what happens, but you know how it is when you grunt about something that you're frustrated with, and I just can't control it. So that's how my anxiety manifests. It's after the fact. It's me being very fidgety and making weird noises. But anyway, the thoughts that really get me down are feelings specifically concerning friendships. I'm very, very insecure in friendships. I have had friendships in the past that have gone wrong, people that have intentionally hurt me, have intentionally betrayed my trust, taken advantage of me, people who held grudges against me and never told me that I had done something wrong. Friendships are my personal insecurity, so I'll just read to you what I tweeted because I'm better on the internet, I'm better on Twitter. I'm not gonna come off as well if I just sit here and tell you. So what I tweeted was, here's a thing I want to be sure and say to all of my booktube and internet friends. You are awesome, whether or not you went to YALLFest or whatever book event. Having internet friends become real life friends was great, but it doesn't make you any less of a friend. So if you see all of these photos and all these tweets from people that went to YALLFest and were hanging out, don't let it get in your head like it gets in my head. Don't let it make you feel lonely. Don't let it make you feel left out. Our friendship has not changed. You're still awesome, whether or not we met, whether or not we get to hang out much. I say this because it happens to me every time. Even this time, even though I was there, sometimes it's hard for me to remember that friendship is not or shouldn't be competitive. It's not a race. There aren't points. Just because persons A and B get closer doesn't take anything away from person B and C. That's really where I get caught up on, is I guess sometimes in my brain I feel like people's capacity for friendships is finite, and that's just not the reality. Just because somebody has 20 friends doesn't mean they just have to stop there. They can't make new friends. Just because you aren't part of a group that you want to hang out with yet doesn't mean you never will be. Just because you didn't go to YALLFest or BEA or GeekCon and hang out with the people that you talk to online and you consider your best friends, and they're hanging out with other people and getting close to those other people, it doesn't mean that you got less close to them. They're gonna come home and still be your friend. Your relationship has not changed, and I really struggle with remembering that, because when I see my friends, they got to hang out together without me, I worry, does that make me no longer part of the group? Does that mean that they prefer those people to me? Like, yeah, they might be closer, but it doesn't mean we're never gonna get closer. It doesn't mean that my relationship had to decrease. I can say that when I take a step back from it, and I know that that's true. Doesn't stop me from worrying about it though. So, like, I know it's true, but I still worry about these things. Friendships are just a very sensitive topic to me. And I was very, very surprised by some of the people that replied to my tweets and said, I feel the same way, because I totally would never expect it coming from them, because they're amazing, confident people, and I really was surprised to hear that, hey, people feel the same way. There was one thing that I noticed too, is when I was hanging out in the hotel room with the group of friends that I've made here on BookTube, we just all started talking about past friendships, and everybody's been hurt, I think. I think just about everybody has had some kind of a friendship go wrong or have some kind of a hitch in the step, even if you've remained friends, and I think we all know how it is to be hurt in relationships, and so I think that we all can relate to feeling left out or feeling lonely or just worrying about if you fit in or not. So I have no conclusion to this video. I have no real advice, because if I had advice, hopefully I would follow it and would no longer feel this way. But I did just want to say, personally to me, if you did not go to YALLFest and we're friends, you're still my friend. I missed you guys. So I just wanted to get my feelings out there. Hopefully somebody feels the same way or needed to hear this. I definitely don't think anyone should look to me for advice or lifestyle tips, because it's not going to get you very far, but maybe we can commiserate together, because sometimes it's just important to hear I'm not the only one that goes through that. Don't ever let these book events make you feel left out, because it's just not true. Everybody will welcome you with open arms whenever you can attend, and if you can't attend, doesn't matter. Friendships online are perfectly strong too. Thank you guys for watching, and if you felt these ways before, please let me know in the comments. We can talk about it, and I will see you in the comments. Bye!